Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Sanjay. Hello, Kavita. Hello, Arunopal Ghosh.
Good evening, everybody.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Good evening. Good evening. So let's begin then, without wasting any time. A very good evening to every one of you. I am Manish Mishra, and a very warm welcome to this Unacademy Gate Mechanical YouTube channel. Friends, this is a brief description of mine. I secured an All India rank of 568 in GATE 2015, and since then I have been teaching GATE and ESE aspirants. The subjects that I have been taking for these 5 years are these subjects: manufacturing science, industrial engineering, operations research, and material science. I hope that I'll be delivering these four subjects to you in this journey of an academy. As you are well aware, yesterday we had the first lecture in the Industrial Engineering and OR series, the crash course series of the subject. Once again, I would like to repeat that I will conduct this entire module of 40 hours in English as well as in Hindi. I will try to be bilingual. Good evening, good evening. Ayush, yesterday I could not send you the PDF notes because yesterday I was not there on the Telegram channel. I was added on the Telegram channel today, and from today onwards I will share the PDF on the Telegram channel. Some people are complaining about the voice quality. Just let me know in the comment section, everyone. Is the voice quality really that bad? Before I commence the class, please let me know this. Is the voice quality really that bad? बोलिए 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 everyone. Voice is good, voice is good. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. I was worried. Okay, then, without any further delay, today I am going to skip the part of this plus and iconic subscription package. I will cover this in the end. Let us just straight away move to the part that we were there in the last class. I'll give you a quick revision of the last class, a very short revision. Yesterday we started one of the chapters in the industrial engineering and operations research subject series, that was project management. In that chapter, firstly I covered what is project. Yes, firstly I covered what is project. In that I told you project is a group of activities and events. Then I thoroughly explained what is an activity and what is an event. And activity is the resource consuming part of the project, where your time, money and energy gets consumed and action is happening, work is getting done, project is getting completed. Event is nothing but the moment in time frame, or we can say samay mein pal. So yesterday we covered what is a project, what are activities and events, and then we get into project management, the best possible use of the resources that we have in a project. Like if you want to construct a house, then spending the least amount of money and getting the work done in the minimum possible time is our objective. If we are able to do that, then we say that we have managed the project well. Then I got into the next part, that was project management techniques. Project management techniques like CPM and PERT. I explained to you in the last class about the deterministic type of project and the probabilistic type of project. Then in the later stage of the class, I told you about network diagram. What was network diagram? Network diagram was just a pictorial representation of the data provided in the project. Whatever data you have in the project, like the duration of the activities, the number of activities, the number of events, using all the data, using all the points that have been given in the problem, and constructing a diagram, a picture representation of the data, so that one can straight away look into the diagram, can straight away look to the picture and get all the important information from that diagram, and need not have to read the problem or the question again and again. Sir, how many marks will get from the subject? Depending upon the different sets in the GATE examination, industrial engineering and OR has a weightage of 5 to 7 marks. Minimum 5 marks come from the subject. There was a time in 2013 when 9 marks came in the subject. So it is a very, very important subject from GATE examination point of view. 10, 20, 15% marks are more than enough to cover a subject thoroughly. My friends, I will again share that critical point with you. I am going to cover the entire industrial engineering and operations research in this series. In the next 40 hours, in the entire module of this series, I will cover each and every part of industrial engineering and operations research. I am going to share each and every concept. I am going to make sure that I do deliver enough questions, enough problems in the classroom, on the YouTube channel as well as on the Unacademy special classes, so that it covers the entire syllabus. I will also provide you with question bank, practice sheets and everything. You will not have to worry about anything at all. Once you are through this 40 hours crash course module, I will make sure that you are through with this subject. One thing you just have to promise me, I want your complete cooperation, complete dedication, complete attention, 100% concentration. Whatever I am going to utter from my mouth, I want you to get those inside your ears and process it inside your brain. Without further ado, without wasting any more time, let's get to the point where we have left the class yesterday. So friends, yesterday we looked into this problem. I'll again read the problem again. A project involves activities from capital A to capital I. The precedent relationship. Somebody asked me yesterday, what is precedent? Precedent means predecessor. Something that has happened before. Successor means something which happens after. So precedent relationship. पहले वाली relationship. Previous relationship. So it is given a project involves activities from A to I. The precedent relationships are as follows, and the time required for these activities are given in the table below. I clearly mentioned you yesterday that this particular part means that activity D cannot be commenced unless and until you have completed activity A. That means activity D will be after A, or we can say when you will complete activity A. जब आप activity A complete कर लोगे, then only you can perform activity D. That means activity A is before activity D. Similarly, activity A is before E, B is before F, D is before F, and so on. So these are the precedent relationship that has been given to you. Now it has been given in the problem that these activities A, B, C, D, E, F, G are consuming this much amount of time. The duration of these activities are given. And And what I am going to tell you is how to construct the network diagram. This is the most important part. The most important part. Learning to know how to construct the network diagram is the most important part of project management. This is the tool by which only you can be able to apply the techniques of project management. Without constructing the network diagram properly, you will fail to apply any of the project management techniques. So let's start. The first thing that we are going to do is we will rank these activities in the order we are going to target them, we are going to construct them. We have to rank them. Now, in the last class, I specifically told you, first of all, you need to find out the independent activities. What are independent activities? Independent activities are those activities which do not have a predecessor activity, which do not depend on any activity. Let's see in this case, like E should happen after A. That means activity E depends on activity A. I am asking you, you need to find out those activities which do not depend on any other activity. So see, the activities that are occupying these second positions are basically depending upon some activities, like I is dependent on F, H is dependent on C. But those activities which are not in the second positions do not depend on any other individual activity. So those activities are A, B and C. Just verify. A, B and C do not occupy any positions in the second places. They do not depend on any other activity. It's like if I just think about constructing my house, activity A, B and C are those activities. Activity A, B, C are those activities which I can commence straight away. Let us consider a common example like activity A is about purchasing the land. If I just think about getting my home constructed, I can pick up my phone, call a broker and ask him, I want this type of land, it should be east facing, it should be having this much dimension. I can straight away call the bank that I want to purchase a land in this particular area, it is going to cost me this much, I want this much loan. Just get the paperwork done. I can straight away call a contractor or an architect to give me a proper plan, to give me proper drawings. So these activities do not depend on any other activities. So what we do is we are going to rank these activities as one. First, when I am going to get the house constructed, independents are activities are those activities which I will be targeting in the first place. So I rank them 1. Now move on to activity D because we have ranked A, B, C. So when I come to D, what I see is activity D depends on A. And it depends in such a way that D can only commence after A is completed. So when I say that I have ranked A as 1, that means activity D will get second rank. Activity D will get second rank. Then we move on to activity E. It has been clearly mentioned here, E also depends on A. I can commence E only after A is completed. So when I have ranked A as 1 and E should be after A, so A is 1, then again E is 2. Some people might have confusion, sir, why haven't you ranked E as 3? You see, to rank E as 3, अगर मेरे को E को third rank देना है, then I should be having some sort of relation here that E should also be after D. E should also be after D. Because ranking E third after D, D is second. If I rank E as third, that means E should be after D. But I do not see any such relation here. I only have a relation between E and A. And E and A relation suggests that A is first, then E should be second. Let's move on to the next activity, that is activity F. Activity F. Let's see this. This is the important part. Activity F occurs after D and after B also. That means both B and D should be completed so that I can commence activity F. Activity B is ranked 1, activity D is ranked 2nd. When both are completed, then only I can start F. So activity F should be after D and after B. So I will write here as 3. Why 3? Because marking 3 means it is after D. D is 2. So it is after D. So it is 3. And it is after B because B is 1. So marking it as 3, that means it is after B as well as after D. Getting my point or not? Let's move on to activity G. G is after C. So C I have ranked 1. So after C, so G is 2. Again H is after C. C is 1. So H is also 2. Last come here is I. I is after G and F. According to G, I should be 3. But according to F, F is 3. I should be after F. So I should be 4. In that way, it is after G as well as after F. I hope at this particular point I have correctly and thoroughly explained you about the ranking of these activities and I am able to deliver what I am trying to explain here. I am going to move on. Okay. So if you have any doubts, just write it in the comment section. Okay, I'll be moving on. You see what does this ranking means? If I am going to construct the network diagram and I start making the network diagram in such a way that I first make activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, then it will be a huge mistake. You see, according to the ranking method, I will have to first target activity A, B, C because they are having first rank. Then I have to target D, E, and after that I cannot target F. I have to target G and H because they are having second rank. And after G and H, I will be targeting F, and at the last, I will be targeting activity I. My point is clear or not? Now let us construct the network diagram. Yesterday I clearly mentioned that in the network diagram events will be indicated by a circle and activities will be indicated by a line with an arrowhead. I will erase this so that I can construct the diagram here. हिंदी में भी बोल दूं ओके हिंदी में भी थोड़ा थोड़ा बोल दूंगा डोंट वरी चलिए लेट्स सी देन I am marking this as event number 1. I have created an event and I have marked the event as 1. Through this first event, first date, जब मैंने सोचा when I thought I am going to construct the house, at this point, उसी पल I constructed all the 3 activities ABC. Okay. Okay. A, B, C. Now, as I have made ABC, let me mark here ABC. I am going to take this slow because I want everyone to catch up. Okay. Now I will target activity D. Activity D depends on A. Once A is completed, I can start D. So let's say I completed A on a particular date. I mark that date as event 2. From that day, I can commence activity D. देखते चलिएगा. Just keep on watching. Activity D, I have already drawn. Now let us come to activity E. Activity E depends on activity A. E depends on A. So I have completed A here. I will commence E from there. E is drawn. Now DE is over. I will not move to F. I will straight away move to G, because after E the second rank activity is G. So let's see G. G is here. G depends on C. Let me choose some different color here. Let us switch to green. G depends on C. So what I will do, I will mark another event 3. An event, a date where activity C will end. And I know as soon as C is over, as soon as C is over, as soon as C is over, I can draw activity G from this part. Activity G. So I will mark G here. Done. After G, the second rank activity is H. H again depends on C. So C has ended here. I have drawn G from here. I will again draw H from this place. Activity H. I hope everyone is getting my point. Okay, it is getting hidden behind me. Okay, it is getting hidden behind me. Let me erase this part and I will draw it again. I will draw it again so everybody can see. It was my mistake. I was not used to that particular arrangement. So A, B, C. Then from A, I ended A on second event. I draw D from here and then I have drawn E from here. I have already explained this part. Then I have completed C on this third event and I have drawn G from here and I have drawn H from here. Okay, I have moved up to this part. I have completed all the first rank as well as the second rank activity. Now I will move on to this third rank activity. Important. I am going to star mark this. F. I have to draw F. Drawing F is bit critical. Just concentrate. Okay. Drawing F is bit critical. Just concentrate. You see activity F. See here, activity F depends on B as well as D. अपना जो एक्टिविटी F है B और D दोनों पे डिपेंड कर रहा है. It is depending on both F. F is depending both on B and D. What does it mean? Yesterday I gave you an example that if you want to put a switchboard on the house constructed, if a house is getting constructed and you want to put switchboards, then the electrical wiring has to be done as well as the plaster work needs to be done. Let's say if somebody has completed the electrical wiring, can we put on the switchboard? No, we cannot. We have to make sure that the plaster work is done. Let's say somebody says that plaster work is done, put on the switchboard. We cannot do that. We have to make sure that the electrical work is over. So both the work had to be done. Both the work are required to be over before I can start putting on the switches. So just assume here that activity F, ये जो activity F है ये switch लगाने का काम है. Are you getting my point or not? Now see, activity F depends on both B as well as D. Now here is B, here is D. What I am going to do, I am going to complete both these activities on a particular date. I am going to participate in an event. There is an event number 4. A moment in time, a date where I am making sure both the activities, the plaster work as well as the switch putting part is over. Now, when B and D both are over, then only I can start activity F from event number 4. People, you are getting my point or not? In this way, I have drawn activity F. Now only activity I is remaining. Activity I is having 4th rank, the last activity of the all of the lot. And it is depending upon again two activities F and G. That means both F and G needs to be completed before I can start drawing I. So here is F, we have just drawn, here is G. What I am going to do, I am going to stretch G and I am going to complete both of them on a particular event, and then I will draw activity I from here. My friends, as activity I is the last activity, you see it has been written here, a project having activities from A to I. I is the last activity. Let us consider I is nothing but Griha Pravesh, housewarming ceremony, the last part of the entire house construction project. So at the last activity, what I am going to do is, what I am going to do is, what I am going to do is, I am going to mark this as the last event. When I put my mouth face like this, I'm just reading your comments. Okay? So what I have done, I have started activity I on a particular date, and as you can see, every activity start on a particular event and end on a particular event. Every activity start on a particular date, end on a particular date. So the last activity also started on a particular date and end on a particular date. The only thing is that this event is the last event of the project. This particular event is the last event of the project. And on this event, I say that my entire project is completed because I have completed all the activities. Now you see one thing remaining. One thing is remained here. Activity E and activity H, they have commenced on a particular date. They have commenced on a particular event. Activity E has started on 2nd, activity H has started on 3rd, but they haven't ended on some particular event. खत्म नहीं हुआ ये दोनों. Getting my point or not? Just have an example. Suppose you have completed the entire construction project. Suppose you have completed the entire construction project. The only thing left is that you haven't placed fans and tube lights in the particular spaces. You have arrangement for electrical wiring, switches and everything, but you haven't placed fans there. पंखा नहीं लगाया आपने अभी तक, ट्यूबलाइट नहीं लगाई. Now, if you look properly into the matter, you could have easily placed a fan or a tube light when the electrical wiring was over. जब इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग का काम हो गया तब आप पंखा ट्यूबलाइट लगा सकते थे, बट हमने नहीं लगाया. क्योंकि the only reason is that if I just before this last event, ये जो लास्ट इवेंट है इवेंट नंबर 6, हाउस वार्मिंग सेरेमनी, so the पंखा लगाने वाला event can start from this particular day. It could have happened when the electrical wiring was done. But even if I put fans just before the housewarming day, just before the event number 6 when the project was going to complete, if I put fan on that day, then also it is not going to affect the project in any way. The project will still get completed on the 6th event on this particular date, and I will say that my entire project is over. So these activities like activity E and activity H, which can commence on any particular event but can end on the last event, are called as slack activities. Slack activities. Don't worry, my friends, I am going to cover this in detail. Don't worry, don't worry. 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 I will be explaining you. I'll be explaining you what is a Slack activity in the later classes. It is just an introduction here. I hope up to this point you know how to construct a network diagram. It is not yet over. I have to cover other details, other parts also. Getting my point or not? Now do one thing, my friends, do one thing. I am going to wait, sit quiet for let's say 2 minutes. I am going to sit quiet for let's say 1.5 or 2 minutes, and I am going to hide the screen. What I want you to do is, I want you to construct the network diagram on your own. Just see the question, take the screenshot of this question, take the screenshot now. I will switch the question screen and you have to construct the network diagram on your own. If you have any doubt, I will cover it after 2 minutes. For the next 2 minutes, I am going to be quiet. So friends, I am going to resume from this part. I hope everybody knows how to construct the network diagram now. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. The next part, my friend, is I am going to write these durations in the network diagram. Okay. As you can see, activity A takes 8 days, B takes 10 days, C takes 8 days. So A takes 8 days, B takes 10 days, C takes 8 days. Then D10, E16, F17, 10, 16, 17, 10, 16, 17. Just beside the activity name, I am writing the duration which these activities are taking. Then G 18, 14, 9, 18, 14 and 9. Okay, my dear friends. Now, a very important part. What I am going to do here is, what I am going to do here is, I am going to calculate, I am going to calculate, मैं ये निकालना चालू करूंगा कि how much time does it requires to complete this entire project. That is, how much time do I need if I start the project from this event and if I complete the project up to this event. I want to calculate the total duration of the project. I have the individual duration of the activities. Now I want to calculate the total duration of the project. Why I am doing this? Some people might ask me that, sir, if you can add all the duration of the activities, if you add the duration of activities like A 8 days, B 10 days, C 8 days, and you add all the duration of all the activities, you will get the project duration. But that is not correct. That is not correct at all, because in this particular project we are carrying certain activities together. When I say I have started activity A, B, C together, that means in same time, in simultaneously I have carrying these activities, I am performing operations. Now I want to calculate the total duration of the project from activity event number 1 to event number 6, and what I am going to do at this point of time, I am going to start a stopwatch here at this particular event, event number 1. At event number 1, what I am going to do is, I am going to start a stopwatch. You know, in a stopwatch, the starting time is 0. So at the stopwatch, what I have done, I have clicked the stopwatch at this particular point, have commenced the work, and what I am going to do is, I am going to switch off the stopwatch at this particular moment. Let's see what happens. You see, this particular time that I have written here is called as earliest start time. Earliest start time, or EST. EST, earliest start time. What does it mean? जल्दी से जल्दी चालू करने का समय. The time that is the earliest start time. जल्दी से जल्दी चालू करने का समय. I have switch on the stopwatch at this particular time, but is it necessary that I start working as soon as the stopwatch is on? The entire process is up to me. I can still waste time. I can switch on the stopwatch and start dreaming and start thinking about anything else and keep on wasting my time. The stopwatch keeps running. I waste around, let's say, 5 days after switching on the stopwatch, and after 5 days I will start commencing the work. But remember here very specifically, very clearly, I am managing this project. I want to optimize the resources, and time is a very important resource here. Time is a very important resource. And if I want to optimize time, manage time, I need to make sure I do not waste time. So the time, the duration of the project that I am going to calculate is going to be the minimum duration. Remember this, my friends, the duration of the project that I am going to calculate here is the duration in which I do not waste a single time. डोंट वरी, चिंता मत करो, हिंदी में भी बोलते चलता हूँ धीरे धीरे, बहुत ज्यादा अंग्रेजी नहीं फाड़ रहा हूँ, बहुत ज्यादा फटाफट अंग्रेजी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मैं, ठीक है ना, हिंदी वाला हूं मैं भी, चिंता मत करो. मैं यहां पर इस प्रोजेक्ट का वो ड्यूरेशन निकालना चाहता हूं जहां पर मैं बिल्कुल भी समय बर्बाद ना करूं, इसलिए यहां पर मैंने स्टॉप वॉच दबाते ही अर्लियर स्टार्ट टाइम लिख दिया 0 पे. जैसे ही स्टॉप वॉच दबाया, एज सून एज आई प्रेस द स्टॉप वॉच, I have started this activities A, B and C. Now, similarly to event 1, just tell me, मुझे ये बताओ, at the earliest, जल्दी से जल्दी मैं इवेंट नंबर 2 को कब चालू कर सकता हूं? How soon, how early can I start event number 2? You see, friends, event number 2 can only be commenced. Event number 2 can only happen. This moment of time will only take place when activity A will end. Activity A require 8 days. 8 दिन लगते हैं मेरे भाई एक्टिविटी ए को. 8वें दिन जब जाके एक्टिविटी ए खत्म होगी तब जाके इवेंट नंबर 2 हो पाएगा. इवेंट नंबर 2 can only take place when activity A is over. So early to early on the stopwatch. 8th day. 8th day is the earliest day when I will start event number 2. Now, just after 2, let us move on to 3. Let me tell you, let us tell us all that when we will commence event number 3 to the earliest. जल्दी से जल्दी event number 3 कब हो सकता है? Event number 3 तब होगा जब मेरे भाई क्या complete होगा? Activity number C. Activity C complete हो रहा है 8 दिन के बाद. 8th day. So I am writing jaldi se jaldi event number 3 can happen on the 8th day. Now this part is the most important. Let me choose some different color here. Just tell me, just tell me, just tell me, just tell me, just tell me how early जल्दी से जल्दी इवेंट नंबर 4 को हम लोग कब चालू कर सकते हैं? When can I commence event number 4? When can I commence event number 4? Just write in the comment box. Write in the comment box, my friends. You see, this is the important part, the tricky part. Up until this point, there was only one arrow that was striking these events. One arrow struck event number 2, one arrow struck event number 3. But at this particular time, you see two arrows are striking event number 4. Two arrows are striking. Why two arrows? Because if you remember, activity F dependent on activity B and D both. Activity F दोनों पे डिपेंड कर रहा था. जब तक B और D दोनों कंप्लीट नहीं हो जाएंगे, मैं एक्टिविटी F चालू नहीं कर सकता. अब देखो इधर ध्यान से, जस्ट वॉच इट वेरी वेरी केयरफुली. एक्टिविटी बी स्टार्टेड ऑन 0, इट विल टेक 10 days, इट विल एंड ऑन 10th day. But my friends, activity D started on the 8th day. It will take 10 days and it will get over on the 18th day. So if I want to start activity F, then I will have to wait for both the activities to get over. जब तक दोनों कंप्लीट नहीं होगा एक्टिविटी F चालू नहीं हो सकता. अब यार ये B वाला तो 10वें दिन आके खत्म हो जा रहा है, पर D वाला तो चालू हो रहा है 8वें दिन, 10 दिन लेके खत्म हो रहा है 18वें दिन. So the earliest you can start activity F without wasting any time is the 18th day. The earliest you can start activity A without wasting any time is not 10 day, but it is the 18th day, my friend. Getting my point or not? Let's move on. Let's move on. After 4, tell me, how early, जल्दी से जल्दी इवेंट नंबर 5 कब हो सकता है? ध्यान रखिएगा, दो तीर लग रहे हैं यहाँ पे. एक्टिविटी आई जो है दो एक्टिविटी पे डिपेंड कर रहा है, एफ पे भी डिपेंड कर रहा है, जी पे भी डिपेंड कर रहा है. ध्यान दीजिए, जल्दी से बताइए, हाउ अर्ली आई कैन स्टार्ट एक्टिविटी आई फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर इवेंट. सो व्हाट शुड बी द अर्लीस्ट स्टार्ट टाइम ऑफ दिस इवेंट, इवेंट नंबर 5, माय फ्रेंड्स. See, to start activity I from this event, I need to make sure that activity F and G both are completed at this particular event. अगर मैं चाहता हूं यहां से I बनाना तो मेरे को यह इंश्योर करना है कि F और G दोनों कंप्लीट हो जाएं. अरे यहां पे देखो ना, यहां पे देखो ना कि F और G दोनों पे डिपेंड कर रहा है I मेरे भाई. तो एफ और जी दोनों कंप्लीट करना है। एफ चालू हुआ था 18वें दिन, 17 दिन का समय लेगा, खत्म होगा 35th डे पर। और जी जो है चालू हुआ था 8वें दिन पर, 18 दिन लेके खत्म होगा 26वें दिन पे। तो मेरे भाई 35वां दिन वो दिन है जब दोनों एक्टिविटी कंप्लीट हो जाएगी। एक तो 26 को हो गया था, लेकिन दूसरा वाला तो 35 को होगा ना, ऑन द 35th डे। So 35 is the earliest start time of activity I or the commencement of this event. Similarly, if I will write the earliest time of this particular event, the last event, जल्दी से जल्दी event नंबर 6, प्रोजेक्ट जल्दी से जल्दी कब खत्म हो जाएगा? So the answer is 35 plus 9, 44, my friends. But remember, 3 arrows are striking here. 3 arrows are striking here. One arrow from this part. Event number 2. So 8 plus 16, 24. And I can write 8 plus 14, 22. But I have written 13, 5 plus 9, 44. Because on the 44th day, every activity that is going to stuck at this particular event gets completed. So 44 day is the earliest time. This is the earliest time. Why it is the earliest time, my friends? Because I have not wasted a single moment from event number 1 to event number 6. Whenever the particular activity has ended, I have written the particular date here. It's not like that this event has ended on 18th and I am writing 19th. I am not wasting a single moment of time. Getting my point or not? Now listen to me very carefully. Very carefully. When I say that 44 is the earliest time, that means on calculating 44, I haven't wasted a single moment of time. Now I ask you a question. Is it possible to complete this project in less than 44 days? Is it possible to complete this project in less than 44 days? क्या इस प्रोजेक्ट को 44 दिन से कम समय में करना पॉसिबल है क्या? The answer is no, my friends. Because 44 you have already calculated is the least time. 44 you have already calculated is the least time to complete the project. Now, if somebody tell you complete the project in 43, 42, you know that realistically it is not possible. Realistically it is not possible. But on the contrary, if I say take 45 days, you know 44 required, 45 is extra time. I can complete the project in 45. If somebody say 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, yes, you can complete the project in more than 44 days. There is no issue. But there is one big problem. If for a project which can be completed in 44 days, अगर कोई project 44 दिन में हो सकता है, और अगर आप उसके लिए, and if for that particular project which can be completed in 44 days and you are taking more than 44 days, like 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, then my friends, you are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. It is not project management. Project management means the optimum use of resources. So time is a very important resource. And when some work can be done in 44 days, why we take 45, 46, 47? It is only this reason in India, the projects which can be completed in 6 months are getting completed in 6 years or 60 years in some places like in Bihar. You getting my point or not? So, what I am going to do is, I am going to consider this 44 as the benchmark time. I am going to set 44 as the earliest time as well as the latest time. Now, this is a very important and new term. What is latest time? Latest means latest, new, late say late. When I say there is a latest fashion in the market, what does it mean? This is a new, fresh arrival which has just occurred. So what I am trying to say here is I am going to set 44 as the latest time as well of the project. 44 is the earliest time and I do not want to waste any time. Project cannot be completed before 44 but it can be completed after 44. But what I am doing is I want to optimize time, which is a resource to me, and to optimize time to manage the project I am fixing 44 as the latest time. I want to calculate the project in such a way that the project gets completed in 44. It should not get late beyond 44 days. Getting my point or not? So now what I am going to do is I am going to move backwards. I have written EST of every particular event here, EST of every particular event here, and now I am going to write the LST. So tell me, my friends, sixth event has an LST of 44. If I want to complete the project on 44th day, if I want to complete the project on 44th day, just tell me one thing. Just tell me one thing. How late? देर से देर, late से late. How late can I start event 5 if I want to complete the project on the 44th day? You see, if I start the event number 5 on the 35th day, then also I require 9 days to complete the project. 44 minus 9 is 35. If I write instead of 35, let's say I write 37, I waste 2 days. What will happen? 37 plus 9 becomes 46 and the project will get delayed. I do not want that to happen. The latest start time should be such, that the project gets completed on the 44th day. You see, my friends, nobody explains the network diagram the way I am explaining. I know I am taking it very slowly, but all these things are very, very important if you will get the concept at this particular time, if you are able to reason with me, if you are getting the logic that I am trying to deliver here. I promise you it will pay off in the next classes. So let me move on. Now tell me, late say late. How late I can start event number 4? How late I can start event number 4? 35 minus 17, my friends, is 18 again. If I write 19, 20 here, 19 plus 17 becomes 36, 36 plus 9 becomes 45 and the project will get delayed. Similarly, tell me, now this is the important part, this is the tricky part. This is the tricky part, my friend, this is the tricky part. How late I can start event number 3? How late I can start event number 3, my friends? How late I can start event number 3? See, 44 minus 14, I can write 30 here. 35 minus 18, I can write 17 here. I have two options. I either can write 17 or I can write 30. And I want to write the late say late. How late I can write, I am asking. So even if I write 30, I am just telling you, I will explain each and everything. Even if I write 30 here, I will add 30 plus 14, it becomes 44 and the project is getting completed at 44. So shall I write 30? Shall I write 30? No, my friends, 30 will be the wrong answer. The correct answer is 17. You see why? You see, two arrows are getting stuck at this particular event. If I write 30 here, 30 plus 14 becomes 44, but 30 plus 18 will also become 48. This particular path will get affected if I write 30 here. 30 plus 18 becomes 48, 48 plus 9 becomes 57, and the project will get delayed, my friends. So the correct answer is not 30, it is 17. 17 is the latest time here. 17 is the latest time, my friends. Now remember this very carefully. I am going to tell you a way to verify this. Whenever you calculate EST, that is the part before the comma, what we are doing is we are performing forward calculation. We are performing forward calculation. And what we did here at this particular point, let's see, I have two arrows coming here. One arrow from 8, 8 plus 10, 18. One arrow from here, 0 plus 10, 10. I had an option of 10 or 18 here. I chose the higher one. Why I chose the higher one? Because at the 18th day, both the activities got completed. दोनों activity complete हो गया. So, forward calculation EST करते समय higher value लिख लो. It is just to verify, my friends, but always remember the reason, the logic behind this. Then only you can feel the subject. Similarly, when I am calculating LST, I am performing backward calculation. I performed backward calculation here. I had two options, 35 minus 18, 17 and 44 minus 14, 30. I choose the lower one. Why I choose the lower one? Because by selecting the lower ones I satisfied both the parts. Now 17 plus 14 is 31. Still the project is getting completed before 44. And again 17 plus 18, 35 plus 9, 44. Still the project is completed at 44. If I would have written 30 here, 30 लिख देता तो ये वाली पाथ डिस्टर्ब हो जाती और प्रोजेक्ट गड़बड़ा जाता. I hope everyone is getting my point. I hope I am able to explain my point to each and every one of you. मैं अपना जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो आप तक पहुंचा पा रहा हूं, आपको चीजें समझ में आ रही हैं, ये उम्मीद करता हूं भाई. I have no medium to interact with you rather than just this YouTube comment box. So I am just hoping that you are getting my points. Okay. So event number 3 is done. Let us move on to event number 2. Event number 2. Friends, 18 minus 10, 8. I would have written 44 minus 16, 28 here. But if I would have written 28, then this path 28 plus 10 would have become 38. This 38 plus 17, this would have disturbed the entire project and the project would have been delayed. डिले हो जाता मेरे भाई प्रोजेक्ट. अर्चना धंजल, please be on time from the next class. No need to say sorry to me. Okay. Now, the first event, my friends, the event this 8th day, it started on the 8th day, so 8 minus 8, I am going to put 0 here. The first event cannot get late. If the first event get late, then that means the project is going to get delayed. The first event will always have an EST of 0, 0. I surely think that I have conveyed my point to you, my friends. Is it clear to each and every one of you? Now, do you know why we write EST, LST in such a way? Now you know the reason, the logic behind it. I am sure before this class, every one of you knew this, how to construct a network diagram, but I am pretty sure that you didn't know these concepts that much well. Okay. Okay. If anybody has any doubt, just write it in the comment box so that I know that I have conveyed my point. Anybody has any doubt? Okay. Okay. I am going to rub some portion here so that I can explain certain other things through this diagram. Let me rub some part. Okay. Okay. Now let me move. Now what I am going to do here is, I am going to write all the possible paths to start the project and to complete the project. What I am saying here is, like, this is a particular path from 1 to 2 to 2 to 6. So I am going to write all the different possible paths. Okay. So I am writing here. Just see this. I am writing the first path 1 to 6. So activity 1 से 2, 8 days, 2 से 6, 16 days. Now I'm writing the second part 1 to 4, 5, 6, 8 days, 10 days, 17 days, and 5 to 6, 9 days. Now I'm going to write the next path 1, 4, 5, 6. So 10 days, 17 days, 9 days. Now the next path 1, 3, 5, 6, 8 days, 18 days, 9 days. Now the next path 1, 3, 6. I am sure it is the last path 8 days, 14 days. Let me select some other color. Let me select black color. Now I am going to write the time through this particular path 8 plus 16, 24, 8 plus 10 plus 17 plus 9, that is 44, 10 plus 17, 27 plus 9, 36, then 18 plus 8, 26 plus 9, 35, and at last 14 plus 8, 22. I hope that up until now what I have written here, sir, chat on. Yes, Saf is saying, sir, chat on. What should I chat on, man? Okay, some are not visible, some are not visible. Okay, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry. It slipped my mind. I am writing here 1, 4, 5, 6. The one I have rubbed from this place, I am writing it here. 10, 17, 9. So 36. I am writing the duration here. Okay. Okay, my friends. Okay. Now. Now, now, now. Now. Now listen to me very, very carefully. Listen to me very, very carefully. My question to you is, listen to the question very, very carefully. Listen to the question very, very carefully. Answer me this question. Out of all the possible paths that I have written here, which path is the shortest path and which path consumes the minimum time? I am asking out of all the possible paths, which is the shortest path and which path is consuming the least amount of time. Tell me, my friends. Is your answer 136, that is the shortest path? Is 136 the shortest path and 22 is the least duration? Is 136 the shortest path and 22 is the least duration? My friends, if your answer is this 136 and 22, I must tell you your answer is wrong. I must tell you your answer is wrong. 22 is not the least duration and 136 is not the shortest path. यहां जो हमने इतना सारा कैलकुलेशन किया है, the entire time that I have spent here in teaching you this network diagram, I have said again and again that 44 is the minimum duration. It is not possible to complete the project in less than 44 days. We have not wasted a single time to calculate the duration of the project, and 44 was the minimum time. So my friends, 44 is the least duration. And you know what, this path 1 2 4 5 6 is the shortest path. This is the shortest path. Try to understand here. On paper, if you see on paper, my friends, on paper, this path is the longest path. The rest of the paths are shorter than this. This path is the longest on paper, but the reality is that this is the shortest path. The other paths are not shortest. This is the shortest path, and 44 is the least duration. We cannot complete the project in less than 44 days. So, my friends, let me again repeat this statement. The path which on paper is the longest, this is the longest on paper. I am going to write here longest on paper. The path which is the longest on paper and has the highest duration on paper, is actually the shortest path with the least duration. And this path, my friends, is called as the critical path. This path is called as the critical path. Now, through the concept of network diagram here, I have explained you the concept of critical path as well. बोलो ना यार, नहीं समझ में आ रहा है क्या? You getting my point or not, my friends? I am going to write the definition here. Out of all the possible paths 1 2 4 5 6 is the longest on paper with the highest duration of 44 days, but in reality 1 2 4 5 6 is the shortest path and 44 is the least duration to complete the project. Now 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is the critical path. Don't worry, I will even explain you why it is called the critical path. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 events are critical events. And you know what? Activity 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. Activity 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6 are critical activities. Now, just note this, what I have written here. I am going to explain this. Just note it. Note this down. You see, if you check these particular events, event number 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6, you will notice one thing, that these particular events have similar EST and LST 00, 88, 18, 18, 35, 35, 44, 44. Except these events, there is one event 3. But see, event number 3 is not on the critical path. On the critical path, there is only 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. And for this third event, the EST LST is not same. What does it mean? It means that you cannot even think about delaying these events. When I say that event number 4 should start at 18, early to early, and late to late also, it should start at 18. जल्दी से जल्दी हो चाहे देर से देर, it should start on 18th. That means if I fail to start this particular event on 18th, I start the activity F from 19th, 20 or 21st day. That means 19 plus 17 will become 38 and the project will get delayed, my friend. The project will get delayed. What does it mean? It means that these particular events are very critical. When we say that somebody is in critical moment, somebody is having a critical situation, that means he is either in that part of the world or that part. अरे यार, मतलब कहने का ये है कि अगर किसी की स्थिति क्रिटिकल है, if somebody is in critical moment or situation, he will either live or he will either die. इस पार और उस पार. So what I am trying to explain here is all these events are critical. जरा सी भूल चूक हुई, even you slip by this much of margin, 18 का 19 हो गया, काम तमाम, the project will get delayed. Similarly, my friends, these activities, 8 days, 10 days, 17 days, 9 days, activity 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, these activities are also critical. ये 8 दिन का काम 8 दिन में होना चाहिए, 10 दिन का काम 10 दिन में होना चाहिए, 17 दिन का काम 17 दिन में होना चाहिए, 9 दिन का काम 9 दिन में होना चाहिए. अगर इस काम को करने में जरा सी भूल चूक हो गई, if you slip by this much of margin in doing this work, if this 10-day work gets completed in, let's say, 11 days, then the project will get delayed, my friend. You getting my point or not? So critical path simply means that path in which all the events and all the activities are critical. All the events and all the activities are critical. You see, this event, this activity E activity is taking 16 days. It can start on the 8th day, it will take 16 days, and on the 24th day it will get completed. But the project will get completed on 44. I have 20 days extra on this particular activity. This activity requires 16 days, but I have 36 days to complete this activity. It is not critical. I can waste time here. I can delay this activity, but it will not affect the project. What will affect the project is this particular activities A, D, F and I. These are critical activities, my friends. These are critical activities. One should not delay these particular activities. You are getting my point or not? Now the last thing that I want to say is why we are calculating this critical path. Why we are calculating the critical path? Let me tell you, my friends, let me tell you. If in the entire project you know which activities are critical. Now here if you will see, I have activities from A to I. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. 9 activities are there. But out of all those 9 activities, only activity A, D, F and I are critical. The rest of the activities are not critical. I can delay those activities. Now, if I want to make sure that this particular project gets completed on the 44th day, if I want to make sure that I do not waste time, that I manage time, the project gets managed and the time which is an important resource gets managed, समय का मैं सदुपयोग करना चाहता हूं, तो भाई मेरे ए से लेके आई तक जितनी एक्टिविटीज है सबको ध्यान देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. If you are in charge of the project, what you should do is you should make sure that activity A, D, F, I, these activity gets completed on proper time. They should start on their given time. They should end on their given time. If you just make sure to manage this particular path on time, if these particular events happen on time, if these particular activities happen on time, then my friends, the entire project will get completed on 44. The rest of the activities will happen in the outskirts, will happen in the side or in the happen in the background. You will not have to worry about those activities. Arey yaar, you are getting my point or not? Critical path method simply means that you should target the critical path. You should target the critical activities, the critical events. Let's say even a project has 100 activities. If I find the critical path and on the critical path there are only 10 activities, I need to monitor only those 10 activities. I need to make sure those 10 activities gets completed on time, should start on time, should end on time. If that happens, the time of the project will not be a worry factor for me. It will get completed. Now let's say a situation arises. Let's say a situation arises where let's say activity F, which is consuming 17 days, and somebody is working on this particular activity, and this particular activity somebody is handling this activity and the person gets sick. बीमार पड़ गया वो बंदा जो ये काम कर रहा था, और आपने देखा कि यार ये तो एक्टिविटी मेरी क्रिटिकल है, साला अगर ये काम मेरा 17 दिन में नहीं हुआ तो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट डिले हो जाएगा. आपको पता है अगर इसे छुट्टी मार दिया तो ये काम डिले हो रहा है. What you can do, what you can do, you know that this event is not critical, you will shift the human working here or the labor working here or the machine working here to this particular place, so that this particular project or this particular activity gets completed on time and the project gets completed on time. Because this activity is not critical, my friends, even if it gets delayed, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So that is the importance of critical path method. And how we calculate the critical path? We write down all the possible paths, and out of all the possible paths, ऑन पेपर जिसका टाइम सबसे ज्यादा है, जो सबसे लंबी दिख रही है, रियलिटी ये है वो कुछ छोटी है, और उसका कंजम्पशन जो टाइम पीरियड है वो सबसे कम है. So my friends, I am going to rest my voice here. I am going to stop this particular class here. Tomorrow onwards we will continue, we will solve more and more problems. You can see the further in my slide you move, you will get to face more and more problems. Tomorrow onwards we will cover more problems on this particular topic. I'll make sure that the entire critical path method or the project management chapter will get stuck inside your head like anything. I was just getting warmed up, my friend. I was just getting warmed up. I feel like I can teach another 4 or 5 hours to you. But time is a limitation here on this YouTube channel. Time is a limitation here. That's why, my friends, that is the only reason I ask you to join the Unacademy Plus subscription. Because on the Plus subscription, my friends, I can not only dedicate more time to you. The Plus subscription module has been designed in such a way the interface is such intuitive that I can see your doubts on the right hand section of the screen. We can have a direct conversation with respect to doubts. I can even put your doubt on the main screen so that others can also see and can benefit from that. It is a more interactive environment. YouTube is just a small medium. It is just a restricted medium to interact with you. On the Plus platform, you will not only get doubt solving sessions, you will get weekly tests. The language barrier will not be there because the Hindi classes and the English classes are going to be separate. If you want to join the Plus subscription, I have already mentioned in the previous class, I am going to mention it again. For the 12 months course, if you will use the code MMM10, it is my code, Mote Manish Mishra. My friends used to call me. Just consider it MMM10, okay? If you will use this code, the 12 months course will only cost you 27,225. The 18 months course will cost you 34,650 and the 2-year course will cost you 39,600. But remember to use this code for 10% off, otherwise this price will increase by 10%. You can also pay this amount in EMI, my friends. You can also pay this amount on EMI. If you have a credit card, Bajaj Finserv card, you can pay this amount on EMI. And my friends, 1650 per month is nothing. It's like if you divide 1650 by 30, you will have to pay only 50 rupees for one class. 50 rupees per day. On that 50 rupees, you can watch other teachers on this Unacademy platform. No coaching institute in this entire country can match this kind of value. I think I have explained my point here. And I am going to stop this class and rest my voice. Up until then, follow me on the Unacademy platform, on the Unacademy website. You can see this particular link here. You can check this link out. It is my personal page on the Unacademy platform. I am going to take special classes after some days. I am going to cover certain concepts, and then on the special class I am going to tell you some important hidden highlights and some more important problems on the Plus channel. Meanwhile, you can if you are already subscribed to this particular Telegram channel, I am going to post this lecture PDF on the Unacademy Me Gate Telegram channel. Up until then, remember to like, share and subscribe, my friends. We dedicate a lot of time, a lot of energy, and we just hope that you like this particular video. You ask your friends to like and to share this video with your friends. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at 9:15 p.m. Again, this class will continue. And I am pretty sure that today's class will keep you motivated, will have an impact on your mind, and I make sure that in each and every class of industrial engineering operations research, I keep on delivering these concepts to you, which will create an impact, which will make you feel this subject, my friends. So, okay then, goodbye, take care, good night.